total utility and marginal utility, total product and marginal product, total cost and marginal cost, total revenue and marginal revenue. Different concepts but defined in the same style is the real title of this lesson. Again, this may look funny when I say this. To get the maximum benefit with minimum effort, follow my discussion very closely. It will help you in so many ways mysteriously. Before we go inside the lesson, read these questions. Define marginal utility. When can it be negative? Define marginal cost. With the help of an example, show how marginal cost can be obtained from total cost. Discuss the relation between average product and marginal product with the help of a diagram. With the help of a diagram, explain the relationship between average revenue and marginal revenue of a firm under imperfect competition. Explain the relationship between average cost and marginal cost with the help of a diagram. In some of the questions, the definition is asked explicitly. In other questions, though the definitions are not asked openly, you are expected to state the definitions at the appropriate places. Thereby, you can make your answer sharp and impress the examiner. But there are 8 concepts. Well, based on the style we are going to follow in defining these concepts, we shall broadly classify them into 2. Marginal utility, marginal product, marginal cost and marginal revenue as set 1, and total utility, total product, total cost and total revenue as set 2. We shall start with the first set. Before that, I believe that you have a basic understanding about the concepts total utility and marginal utility. If you need a detailed discussion, please watch my video on consumer behavior, total utility and marginal utility calculation. Link for the lesson is given in the description. So, let me concentrate only on definitions. We shall begin with the definition of marginal utility. Marginal utility is the additional utility obtained by consuming an additional unit of a good. I have given a simple table for your reference. It is a good practice to give its formula also. I believe that you know what each term stands for. So let me confine myself to the definition part of each concepts. Now we shall see how to fabricate the definition for marginal product from the definition of marginal utility. Marginal product is the additional product obtained by employing an additional unit of a variable factor. This is the definition of marginal product. Look, we use the same style and repeat most of the words. The changes we have made are, we replaced marginal utility with marginal product, additional utility with additional product, consuming with employing, unit of a good with unit of a variable factor. Now, I think you have learnt the technique of deriving one definition from another. Don't forget to state the formula. We shall attempt a definition on marginal cost. I have given both the definitions. Marginal utility is the additional utility obtained by consuming an additional unit of a good. Marginal cost is the additional cost incurred by producing an additional unit of a good. Examine the changes we have made in fabricating the definition of marginal cost from marginal utility. We replaced marginal utility with marginal cost. additional utility with additional cost, consuming with producing. See how easy it is. State the formula for marginal cost. We shall develop the definition of marginal revenue. Let us have the definitions of marginal utility and marginal revenue. Marginal utility is the additional utility obtained by consuming an additional unit of a good. Marginal revenue is the additional revenue obtained by selling an additional unit of a good. Look for the changes we have made in the definition of marginal revenue. We replaced marginal utility with marginal revenue, additional utility with additional revenue, consuming with selling. State the formula for marginal revenue. Thus, if you master one definition, marginal utility, you shall state the definitions of marginal product, marginal cost, and marginal revenue. We shall turn to the definitions of total utility, total product, total cost, and total revenue. We shall start with the definition of total utility. Total utility is the sum of marginal utilities obtained from the consumption of a given number of units of a good. State the formula also. First, master this definition. We shall define total product. As usual, I have given the definition of total utility and total product. Total utility is the sum of marginal utilities obtained from the consumption of a given number of units of a good. Total product is the sum of marginal products obtained from employing a given number of units of a variable factor. Look for the changes. We replace total utility with total product, marginal utilities with marginal products, consumption with employing, units of a good with units of a variable factor. Thus, we can develop the definition of total product from the total utility. We shall apply the same technique to define total cost. Total utility is the sum of marginal utilities obtained from the consumption of a given number of units of a good. Total cost is the sum of marginal costs incurred when producing a given number of units of a good. Look for the changes we have made. We replaced total utility with total cost, marginal utilities with marginal costs, obtained with incurred, consumption with producing. Only these changes. See how simple and easy it is. Finally, let us define total revenue. Total utility is the sum of marginal utilities obtained from the consumption of a given number of units of a good. Total revenue is the sum of marginal revenues obtained by selling a given number of units of a good. In making this definition, we replaced total utility with total revenue, marginal utilities with marginal revenues, and consumption with selling. This is how the same style and wording help us to deduce one definition from another definition. Thus, mastering the definition of marginal utility and total utility, you are capable of obtaining 6 more definitions. This is how you students must make things easier in answering questions. Try to give effective answers in the board examination and score well. Our discussion ends here. We shall meet again.